Thank the Lord for another day. Hope and pray all is well with the YouTube family and Facebook family. And a big shout out to you, B, on doing this video on tithe and offering. I was trying to send you the link to the ones I did before, but I guess all of those videos I had up got deleted too on that. But ain't nothing to come back and do it again because I've been speaking on tithe and offering for so long. Not to say that I'm right, but to tell the people the truth. Now, first of all, I don't have nothing against people that tithe. You want to tithe? That's good. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. Do what works for you. I'm not against tithing. But I am against these preachers who use Malachi to make folks feel guilty and to tell people that they're robbing God. Because first of all, you cannot rob God. God is the creator. God owns everything. If you can rob God, you're a bad person. You cannot rob God. And when they quote that, will a man rob God, they don't even realize what they are saying and who was it referring to. When you look at what the priestess was doing, see, first of all, they were sacrificing anything to God. They were sacrificing the animals with diseases. See, back then, the tithe wasn't money, it was food. And a lot of people don't catch this. Nowadays, we have the church. And the house of God have to be taken care of. You got bills to pay. You got, water, gas, electric, so on, so on. So that's why you do give. Now, if you want to tithe and give, that's your business, because real talk, you don't have to let nobody know what you are doing. That's between you and God. That's the other problem, too. You got too many preachers up in folks' business. They want to know how much money they make. That ain't got nothing to do with them. That's just, my opinion. Don't nobody need to know what I'm putting in or what I'm making. That's just me. Because if I'm going to be a blessing, I don't want my name called out and none of that stuff, but everybody is different. But back to the Old Testament, when you look at the law, everybody gonna talk about the Mosaic law. Well, when that tent, when Abraham gave that tent, that was not a requirement. Abraham wanted to give that tent, to Melchizedek or Melchizedek, however you want to pronounce it. God never required that. Read the scripture very close. He gave that from his heart, and he did not give that from his income. He got that from the plungers of the wall. Yes, so in other words, yes, he got something from somebody else and gave. Now, when you look at Jacob, Jacob made a vow. Yes, he made a vow to God. In so many words, he was like, well, if you do this for me, then God, then I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to give you a tent. I'm just paraphrasing this. He made a vow to God. Now, did Jacob ever go through with that vow or not? Bible never tell you. Did Abraham ever give another 10% anymore? Bible never tell you. But you do see in the New Testament where Paul say, let every man give from his heart. And I know somebody going to quote that Matthew, I believe, maybe 23 and 23 about woe unto you, you scribes, Pharisees, hypocrites. I know you know that what I'm talking about. Well, first of all, back in the Old Testament, Gentiles were considered unclean. They were dirty. So when you look at the difference between Jews and Gentiles back then, first of all, you got to understand that we are under new covenant. Yeah, you had the Old Testament. We know the laws, and let me just say this like this. If God was going to keep being like he was, then it wouldn't have been no need for the New Testament, because God was doing a good job judging. But he sent his son, let me say this right so you won't get confused, he had to come down here in the flesh to be Jesus, which is God the same. He had to come in the flesh to show us. And then when you look at the New Testament, it's all about grace and mercy. So I don't know why people keep wanting these preachers, not all of them, but the ones that's doing this, they want to throw you back under laws. Will a man rob God? When you look at what the priestess was doing, you cannot rob God. Though you have robbed me with tithes and offering. And when you look at that tent, that requirement, when somebody gonna say, well, God did require. Well, what did he require for? See, people don't look at that real closely. That food, once again, it wasn't money. That food was for the widow women, the orphans, and the strangers. Just like nowadays, a lot of widows in the church can't get no help from the church, and then you got preachers riding around here looking good. They in fancy cars, big houses, but not all of them are doing this. I'm just telling you what the truth is. You got a lot of these preachers doing this, and they won't help not one member in the church. But they quick to say, will a man rob God? I'm going to tell you once again, that don't have nothing to do with you. Paul said, let every man give from his heart. That's why you won't hear nobody get up and quote about the widow woman who gave the 2 mites. You ain't going to never hear nobody pretty much quote that at offering time. And then you're going to have a conflict behind it because they're going to try to make you feel guilty even with the widow woman. That woman gave all she had. Just like nowadays, you got people laid off. How you going to give 10% of zero? So many folks are having hard times. I know somebody going to say, well, such and such this, such and such that. No, when you don't have nothing, you don't have nothing. I'm going to tell you something about me. I've never been a 10% tithe payer, and I am blessed beyond measure. God have never, oh man, see, that's why I give. Now you got people that's going to give and tithe. I look at the difference, man. When I look at tithe, I just look at the Old Testament, but when I look at, when Paul say, let every man give from his heart, well, with your heart. And when I say give from your heart, that's not just talking about money. See, a lot of people won't tell you this. It's about giving your time. You might have some groceries you can give to somebody who don't have no food. Give. It ain't just money. Let every man give from his heart. Let every woman give from their heart. You might not have money, but you can give something else to somebody. You might want to just donate your time to go down to the church and help people that's in your community. Whatever it is. See, this whole thing about begging. See, first of all, the Bible teaches you to give cheerfully. Be a cheerful giver. Now, how in the world are you going to give cheerfully when somebody is begging you for something that you don't even have? And even if you do have it, you're not going to give it cheerfully because you got somebody in the pulpit steady trying to beg you, and they want to throw Malachi 3 and 8 at you. They want to put you under the old law. Jesus came to fulfill them laws. I keep telling folks, he told us the only commandments he was concerned about. And to the Bible studies, y'all know what those are, because I know y'all gonna send the comment telling me what they are. But at the same time, I'm not saying I got a problem with 10%. I'm telling you that JT don't give 10% because God never gave me 10% of Jesus. He gave me all of Jesus. John 3:16 covered that. He gave, for God so loved the world that he gave his what? Only begotten son. Only begotten son. Now God got many sons. I'm a son. If you are a man looking at this, you are a son. But that word begotten, he gave his only begotten. He didn't give us half of Jesus. He gave us all. So when JT give, he give from his heart. He give all that he can. So once again, what you give, that's between you and God. It ain't got to be between you and your pastor. I wish folks could understand this. That's why I say if you want to give 10%, if that's what works for you, give it. But my job is to expose the truth. All this begging for money, that's not how Jesus was. Jesus didn't have to beg. Jesus didn't have to beg. And Jesus don't want us to beg. That's why charity starts at home. See, people don't preach about charity. This is why charity starts at home. And once again, being a good steward. If you learn how to be a good steward, which is learn how to manage your money. See, we got too many people blowing money. That's why you got so many people that don't put money in church also, because they quick to blow money on anything else. Oh, we go blow such and such money at the club. And I'm not talking bad about the club. I'm just using the club for an example. Or we'll go to the movies, or we'll buy our favorite outfit. It might be $150, but we'll put $2 in church. See, if you give little, then you're going to receive little. But I'm going to tell you, I've never been without. Because when I give from my heart. God, and that thing about you going to be being cursed, get that out of your mind. That's that old law. You are not going to be cursed. And I am so sick and tired of these preachers telling you, oh, well, the man robbed God. If you don't pay your 10%, you're going to be cursed. Well, see, that's false teaching. And God going to hold them accountable for all that false teaching. That's why I like what my boy P.P. Drawings always say. He said, I'm a tither and a giver. And that's why he is so blessed. What works for you works for you. But we have to tell the truth. Jesus wasn't about all this begging. Jesus taught what the real prosperity was. And he taught us about giving from our heart, like Paul was telling us to do. Because he blessed us. When he died on the cross, he gave it all. He said, it is finished. This is why you don't have to sacrifice animals no more. Jesus said, it is finished. And you got people right now going to a curtain, confessing their sins to a man behind the curtain that's in the flesh, just like us. And that sins, probably got more sins than us. See, we got to get the real, true word of God in us, people. And once again, listen to what I'm saying. I don't have nothing against you giving your 10%. I'm talking about these preachers that abuse this It's Malachi 3:8. Telling you will a man rob God, they not even telling you what that means. And I know half of the people that's been brainwashed with Malachi don't even go study it for themselves. They're going to go back to Melchizedek and Abraham, and they're going to go back to Jacob. Well, that's why you don't ever see them give that no more in there. And once again, it was not a requirement. And when you look at the requirement, which was meat back then to the storehouse, it was for the widow women, it was for the orphans and the strangers. Now we got the church nowadays, yes. You got buildings right now. You got some of these people sitting in the building with their lights off because they don't know, oh, I got to pay they don't went to their income. They check. See, I don't get off in all that. I don't give God no off the top when I get my check out. No, I give from my heart. I don't put no percentage on God. I don't. Because first of all, God don't need my money. I know somebody don't like that. But God don't need my money. My church do. I can't give God enough. I can't give him enough. What he has done for me, what he has done for you, I can give God all the money I have, and he'll throw it back down at me because he's going to say, I don't need your money. Go bless somebody that needs that money. How can you give the Creator something? You know what he want? Our soul, our salvation. That's why I say your money is for your church. God do not need your money. If you think he do, take all the money you got out the bank and go outside and throw it up in there. And see how much God going to grab and see how much going to fall back down. Somebody catch that later on. And I'm not saying don't give. See, people get mixed up. I'm not saying don't give at all. I'm saying give from your heart. And the purpose of this video is to tell you, do not be brainwashed behind tithe and offering. Do not let these preachers brainwash you. And once again, now JT don't have no degree. I'm not a Bible scholar, but I do know what the words say. And I have a clear understanding on tithe and offering. Big difference. That's why you see a conflict, tithes versus offering. People argue about this all day because you have so many people, they coming up broke. Now I'm going to tell you something. You got a family and you sit up here, you got to pay your mortgage. And then you sitting there debating about, well, if I don't pay my tithes, then I'm going to be cursed. Well, my mortgage, watch why the Bible once again tell you, charity start at home, be a good steward. Because if you sitting up here right now looking at this video with your lights off, or you got some kind of bill due and you ain't paid your tithes, well, that's ignorant. I mean, you sitting there didn't pay your electric bill or your gas bill or whatever turned off, and you paid your tithes, and you still mad because ain't nobody helped you. Well, there's your answer right there. Don't be ignorant of the word. If you got a mortgage to pay, you better pay your mortgage. Best believe I am. See, God gave us a sense of humor. God gave us 5 senses. God gave us everything we need in this life. Sad thing, we won't pick up the word to study it enough. If you want to give 10%, give it. You are not going to be cursed either way it goes. At least you are giving it. See, I'm tired of folks trying to take scriptures, and you got big time preachers doing this. I won't reveal no names, but it is ridiculous. People got these doctorates and these degrees, and they are flipping these scriptures up just like the Bible taught us. Just like the Bible taught us. People are using the word to try to get paid. People are using the word, lying on the word, lying on. I told you, we want to sell Jesus now. Good God Almighty. He didn't come down here to die for us to be using him as a sugar daddy, as using the word as to make money off of it. Some folks only call on God unless they need something. It's sad, man. It's a sad day and time, but you know what? It's going to get sadder. Stop being brainwashed behind this Old Testament. Learn the difference. I keep telling folks, the Old Testament, laws and consequences. This New Testament, we are under grace and mercy. Let every man give from his heart. And if you want to give, if you want to tithe, now you know what the truth is. Once again, you're not going to be cursed. Either way it go, you will not be cursed. It's an old saying though. If you reap little, you will sow little. If you reap, excuse me, let me say that right. If you give little, then you will receive little. If you want to put in $2, then hey, expect $2 to come back. And I'm just using that for an example. But once again, you cannot rob God. No way. No how. When you look at that, it was not talking about robbing God physically, y'all. You can't rob God. Those priests was acting up. Just like you see these big time folks doing now. Yes, I'm talking about it. Be careful. God bless.